Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you to all of you for your continued support. As I said earlier in my previous videos, we are headed to 90,000 subscribers, and our projection this year is 100,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this video, kindly make sure you click the subscribe button. And of course, remember to turn on your notification bell. Notification bell is important because even if you're offline, once you activate your data bundles, YouTube automatically sends you notifications about my videos. Back to politics. Those who never knew, this is the reason why I began to admire the Ugandan president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the late Tanzanian president John Pombe Magufuli. During the COVID-19 pandemic, you all know how John Pombe Magufuli opposed the virus and said there is no corona in Tanzania. And whoever is saying people are dying of COVID-19, that is an enemy of Tanzania. He said Tanzania is a peaceful country free of COVID-19. Recently, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni told William Ruto face to face in Kenya here and told him, young man, my son, listen. The people you are calling development oriented and they are here to help us, those people actually are here to finish us. Museveni was referring to the International Monetary Fund Bank that is currently spearheading the Kenya's economy. We all know that. It's in the public domain. Museveni and the former Tanzanian president, they never entertained the West. These are people who believe that Africa is a great continent and it's able itself to feed the West. Actually, the West imports so many food commodities from Africa. Coffee and the rest. So, Museveni says Africa is a rich continent if our leaders decide to work for the benefits of our people. But Africa is failing because it has money-thirsty leaders. The boys in office are now too extravagant. Kaka, I have understood the danger of electing boys. I have come to understand that a young generation, especially in Kenya, is not yet ripe for leadership. Whatever that is happening across the country, to me, is childish and juvenile. Now, what is more valuable to them, after all, is stealing. The US wants to colonize Kenya. That is a fact. Through the Kenya Kwanza government. Because we all know, as long as they see cash, they are very much available and ready to sell their children to the slaughters, to the oppressors, to the West. We all know, and it's in the public domain, that Kenya Kwanza is being led by the United States of America. The economic decisions in our country are entirely made by the International Monetary Fund Bank. The high taxes being imposed to Kenyans is entirely an American decision. The borrowing you are seeing, much of it is from the IMF. We are being controlled right, left, and center. We cannot make our own decision as a country. Colonialists, they are back with a different strategy. President Ruto decides to hire an aeroplane worth 200 million just to jet to USA to go and please the West at the expense of innocent Kenyans. And from this state visit, Kenya can only benefit the little. Majority of the benefits goes to the US. Business deals, investment deals, and the rest. Entirely, it is the United States that highly benefits from William Ruto's state visit. But in return, the president decided to oppress the taxpayers by hiring a chopper from the Arabs worth 200 million. What for? Was it necessary? Can we watch the news from KTN? KTN compiled a detailed report, and I could wish to use it in this particular analysis.
Now, President William Ruto is in the United States for a 4-day official visit. The president, this time round, decided to fly a business jet that KTN News has since established is a Boeing business jet. The aircraft service is run by a United Arab Emirates company, Royal Jet Group, of course, a premium private aviation company based in Abu Dhabi. It is a 7-year-old Boeing 737-700, one of the 8 owned by the company founded in 2003. Emmanuel To is here with the details of this aircraft that will cost the taxpayer an upward of 200 million shillings, just to take and bring back the president and his team.
As high-ranking state officials saw him off at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport Sunday night, ready for the historic trip to the United States of America, a bird never before publicly seen was spotted on the airside, all white with 2 strips running across the fuselage. This was his choice for transporting this journey. When the pictures and videos hit the public space, a debate was ignited. The head of state's usual mode of transport out of the country is a presidential jet, a 30-year-old Fokker 70 extended range, christened Harambe 1, with a carrying capacity of 26 passengers, but these aircraft can only fly 5 hours non-stop. He opted for a charter, Boeing 737-700 business jet from the Abu Dhabi-based Royal Jet Group, a premium private aviation company. A quotation requested and sent to the Standard Group from the operator puts the cost of hiring a similar state-of-the-art aircraft at a total cost of $748,600 US, which translates to about 98 million shillings one way for a 34-seater plane. A return journey will cost another 98 million shillings. Details show the plane could cost more than 2 million shillings per hour, and these will vary depending on routing, scheduling, number of passengers, year of manufacture, among other details. Then there is the takeoff tax, landing tax, and parking. In addition to the amount spent getting the aircraft from Abu Dhabi to Nairobi and back to the United Arab Emirates, a near 5-hour journey on both legs could each cost anywhere between 8 million shillings and 10 million shillings. On the first leg, the jet left Abu Dhabi at 9:03 a.m. on Saturday, landing at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport almost 4 hours later. It spent a day on the ground ahead of Ruto's trip. He will depart at 9:48 p.m. Sunday and landed at Santiago de Compostela in Spain yesterday at 5:30 a.m. local time. 8 hours and 42 minutes later, ostensibly to refuel. These aircraft, a Boeing 737-700, has a flying range of 10 hours non-stop. The plane then left Spain for Atlanta, Georgia, a journey of 8 hours and 42 minutes before landing at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Fitted with 10 auxiliary tanks, the ultra-modern aircraft went into commercial use about 9 years ago. This particular one, used by President Ruto and his team, is configured for day travel at 34 seats, 8 of them VIP, 8 business and 18 standard, and 5 crew members. It also has an executive bedroom. This extravagant travel comes as the government promised to implement austerity measures to reduce the weight on the taxpayer. The government is also planning to acquire a new state-of-the-art jet, which will replace the KAF 308, which was bought in 1995 by retired President the late Daniel Arap Moi.
Presidential jet, you remember, was purchased in the early 80s or late 80s by former President Daniel Arap Moi. And probably this offers that opportunity now to reconsider all this equipment, be it aircraft and other military equipment, Honorable Speaker, towards modernizing them.
It is not the first time President William Ruto is showing his taste for expensive things. In 2013, he was under fire for hiring a private jet for a 5-day shuttle diplomacy over the International Criminal Court in 2013. A business trip for the team, assuming all the 34 seats were occupied, would have cost the government about 40 million shillings on commercial jet return, 160 million shillings less. Emmanuel Toh, KT.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is called a business flight. Eh? Wewe mama mboga pale kijijini, wewe mtu ya boda boda, kazi yako ni kufanya bidii. Unyeshewe, especially watu ya jua kali during these heavy rains. Ulipe high taxes. Na hiyo taxi unalipa inaenda kukomboa ndege ya 200 million kwa yule mtu alisema yeye ni hustler. Na mnakumbuka mimi nikiwaonya, I was warning you people during the campaigns and told you, be very careful. The pretending hustlers, dynasties are now pretending to be hustlers. They have worn the sheep's skin, but inside them, they are dogs. And they are lying to you that they are your people. They understand you better. For heaven's sake, how can a hustler hire a 200 million jet for a private function like a state visit? I know some of you can argue, Kaka, that it's the inviting country that caters for all the expenses. Listen, the hosting country caters for accommodation, food, and other things. Transport is entirely on the traveling president. Siwezi kukuita kwangu alafu nikulipia mpaka fare. So a transport is entirely on the traveling president. But it is the hosting president or the hosting country that is going to cater for travel expenses, accommodation expenses, and food expenses. But entirely Kenya foots for transport costs. These are the leaders who told us that Kenya has no money. The leaders who are hiring a jet of 200 million are the same leaders who told us Kenya has no money. Uhuru Kenyatta left empty coffers. These are the same leaders who told us they want to they want to cut costs. Juzi Ruto amesimama akasema kama Kenya kwanza serikali, they want to cut travel costs ili wawache kuwekea Wakenya burden. Lakini the one who told us that is again hiring a jet. Wachana na mambo ya allowance and per diems. Is just hiring a jet at 200 million Kenyan shillings. Was it worth it? These are the same leaders, ladies and gentlemen, who told us to live within our means. Is hiring a jet at 200 million living within our means as the Republic of Kenya? Tough questions, ladies and gentlemen. I am asking as an ordinary Kenyan, ladies and gentlemen, can we face these issues the way they are? Let's call a spade by its name. Hiring 200 million, is it living within our means as the Republic of Kenya? It's a tough question that I could wish you to reply at the comment section. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.